Hey, everybody, what's up?
What's going on? So serious talk. What's going on? Shut up.
Shut up, me.
No one asked for your opinion. Us.
Tell me to shut up. Hey, me.
I need me to have a conversation about us. So, this Thursday night, we're continuing the quote unquote fun month. I'm putting it in air quotes because it is a month. It is July. It is hot as fuck and it is miserable. But we're hoping to have a little bit of fun tonight, hang out with y'all. Here in a minute, we're going to be doing our quote unquote horror stories from the road. It's been highly requested that we do this for you guys. We haven't done this at least over live stream in years. And we're going to have a little bit of fun and talking about some of our favorite cases, some of our worst cases, and some of our most hilarious moments during cases. So you guys get the Scarefest experience and the Sacred Journey experience, the New Jersey Para-Unity experience. So for those of you that haven't been able to show up to some of our bigger events and talks, we're going to do that for you tonight. First announcement, Miss April cannot do the ball, so we are shifting gifts around. So as far as giveaways, April is now getting one of the free readings. Terry Wolf, you are now the proud recipient of a free ticket to Mystic Luna's ball on Saturday night. So we'll be giving you something via email. We need you to confirm before we can give you that. And basically, you're just going to get an email voucher. Hey, look, the boys said I can come in for free. That's what we were told to do, so that's what we're going to do for you. Let us know if you can do the thing. Now, Miss Linda Nelson, Miss April Connolly, and Mr. Russell Paquin.
Terry's in South Carolina. She can't make it.
I want y'all to understand that I'm trying to give shit away. I am trying my best to give you things. So what is the shit I am giving you not good enough for you? It's a gift.
But it keeps. Where's Linda located at?
She is out of state. So Russell, would you like to go to the ball, sir? If you would like to go to the ball, Russell, because I know you're probably around in the comments somewhere, or will be.
Yeah, he's there.
If you would like to go, in all seriousness, it is an after the market event there at the Clarion. It's here local, Clarion Hotel in Lexington off of Newtown. So you can come hang out during the market, go to the thing afterwards. There's going to be a lot of people there, a lot of mingling and hanging out and special guests.
All right, cool. He said, sure, I'll go.
Cool. Fuck, finally. Congratulations. Thank you for taking this off my hands because I was beginning to freak the fuck out. And I was like, I'm trying to get the thing away because I was asked to. But yeah, give us an email, bub. Shoot us a
Put it in the send it in a private message.
Yep.
Don't send it on the thing. I don't want nobody to get your information. Shit.
Yep. Slide into our DMs so that we can give you what you're looking for.
Wink, wink. Yes.
But alrighty, bub. It's going to be a pretty awesome event. It is a ball. It's meant to be a kind of a gala event. So kind of church it up a bit. Actually, if I were going, I'd show up in a busted pair of jeans and a fucking band shirt. But that's just me. But if you want to keep up the appearances. Go have fun. It should be an awesome time. The Connor sisters are going to be there. Miss Bev McChesney is going to be there doing a gallery. A lot of the people that we vouch for and know, such as Dina Ambergy and Miss Joni Kahn, are going to be there. It's going to be a big deal. Also, been talking about it now that we do have a winner. April, Terry, and Linda, you guys get free readings. This includes energetic readings. And do you want to throw your hat in this too? $30 value. You want to throw your hat in this too?
I'm trying to text here. Yeah, throw me in there. Throw me to the wolves.
Hi, Terry. I'm literally trying to give my friend here an opportunity to do some sound healings, and he's like, "Oh, well, fuck me."
I'm trying to text people. Shit.
No, Russ sent me his email address.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we'll get you that voucher, bub. Probably sometime tomorrow. The event is Saturday night. But Terry,
Yes, I do sound healings. That's a $30. You get both tuning forks and singing bowls.
and any of these readings, any of these, okay, I need to specify this for a very important reason. Any of these readings, whether it's cards or energetic, can be done over the interweb. It can be done through a video call.
We have the technology.
For those of you that were wondering whether or not it was possible to do that, because I know there were a couple of people that were asking that particular question. The interesting thing to me is the same people that have been taking our energy classes are the ones that are asking that question.
We do. We literally do it once a month.
So
At the end of the month, every month,
Every
for the last
month.
6 months.
every month. So we can do this shit
We-
online. We can do the thing for you.
We can do this.
We can do the thing for you. So you set up the time when it's possible. Give us a couple of dates as far as when you would like to do, and choose a mechanic that you would best, find yourself suited towards. Any of us are willing, and depending on work schedule, any of us are willing. So
All you got, if you want me, all you got to do is, hey, when are you available, Brian? I'm available these days.
Yep.
My schedule is projected out for the rest of the year.
Yep. So all you got to do is let somebody know.
Yep.
And we'll get you the mechanic that you want and the reading that you want to have them do. It is, we're now adding the sound healing in there. So sound healing, energetic readings, and obviously tarot and oracle cards, any of those are on the table. All of them are, $30 a piece, and we're doing them for free for those people. So pick the one you want. If you're local, come on in, do the tuning forks and the bowls with Mr. Tyree. I suggest it. Even if you are a distance away, we can work it out to actually do a sound healing over Discord and other things.
Actually, that'd be pretty cool.
So we do have the technology, we have the ability, so we'll make sure to take care of you. All that aside, looking at this weekend, we're going to be there bright and early Saturday, all day, possibly, maybe, who the fuck knows, we might show up at the ball, just to crash it. Otherwise, you can catch us on Sunday, and we're going to be at the Central Kentucky Mystical Market at the same space, Clarion Convention Center North, off of Newtown Pike in Lexington. And we love the event. It's our home. They've taken care of us, and we're always going to take care of them. And we're fast approaching, if we haven't hit it yet, we're fast approaching 11 years. Jeez. So, because the market itself is where we actually got our start as a team.
Well, at that time, it was the fair.
Yeah, it's changed. We've been through the multiple changing of hands, and now we're at the market, and it's never been better.
Say 2014 when we started. So we'll be
13.
2013. No,
Yeah.
it was 2014.
It was March.
2013. I mean 2014. Because 2013 is when we met.
Was it?
Yep, we didn't do the thing until a year later.
So yeah, we're going.
We're approaching 11 years.
We're going on 11 years. So I had the math right, just not the year. Fuck me. It's been a lot. I also did.
It's been a lot.
It's been a lot. Also, for those wondering, I did do the follow up to the forecast. It is posted. It was a very quick video, and as you guys can tell, sleep has eluded me for many a day, and it caught up. So, yeah. So I am mentally roasted and physically exhausted. So you got what you got. Unfortunately, I'll attempt to do better next week, but
You did with what you had.
I did with what I had.
All right then. Made no sense in apologizing.
But so that's up for you guys. We got the event. Miss Joni Kahn is going to be here at the Missing Elements, shop. We have Mr. Tyree here. She's going to be here from noon to 4, possibly later, depending on how many of you want to talk. Come meet her and get readings. She's going to be here the 27th of July, so next Saturday. If you want an in-person, you can call the shop here.
That number is 502-414-1833.
Say it one more time.
502-414-1833.
And you can also get us, of course, here on Facebook. You can you can message the missingelements.shop, which is the store's webpage. You can also message us at spiritmechanics.com or info@spiritmechanics.com as far as an email. And just request a time. Miss Joni is 100% worth the time, worth the money, and worth the visit. She's a sweetheart. She was actually on our last Tarot Night Live. So if you want to see what she's like, you can go back and rewatch Tarot Night Live for June. Looking at, and this will be the last announcement, looking at the 3rd and 4th of August, we're going to be back in Eastgate, Cincinnati area of Ohio for Sacred Journey Metaphysical Market. And we're going to be hanging out doing the thing. We're going to have a seminar there, doing the thing as we do. Come by, see us, see a bunch of other people. It's an awesome experience with some awesome people that run it. And we're looking forward to it, as we always are. And we'll talk about Scarefest later. We'll talk about Scarefest later. Yeah.
Out of all of those, at every event for the next little bit, I'm only off for Scarefest.
Oh, I think that's it. One last thing. Just as far as an update, Ryan, could you give us just a quick update over the YouTube content?
Okay, the YouTube content I've been going through footage, and I'm having to figure out what's been used and what's not been, because Raymond is also a part of Global Ghost Hunt, so he does some of the stuff from the Roz Opera House, which is supposed to be the next episode. And the footage that I have in the hard drive that he gave me is some of that's for that, and I don't want to reuse his footage. So me and him are having to go back and forth on which parts are which, whose is whose. And I'm needing to look through the footage that you give me. You gave me a thumb drive with footage on it. I'm not sure where that one was.
I think that was
Was it Roz?
No, I think it was the museum.
Okay.
Oh, the
Gotcha.
the Murphy building.
No,
The museum.
the museum,
Oh,
the radio museum. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different episode. We just spoil that. So it's slow going because you have to watch the footage to know what you have and to know what I can cut into with that. there for a bit. It was my hard drive that was being an issue. I'm trying my best. It's not that I've forgotten about that we have episodes to do. It's
There's
everything.
There's hours of footage, y'all.
Mm.
There are literally hours of footage from these investigations. And we're trying our best not to jump cut it to death because we really want to give you the raw footage. That way, it's not doctored. It's not,
As an investigation is supposed to be. I'm not putting in shit to make it seem like we're finding stuff that we're not. That's because like when we did Bobby Mackey's.
Bobby Mackey's, yeah.
Gosh almighty. When we did Bobby Mackey's, I didn't edit that. I just put the whole clip except for a few bits and pieces, cutting off the beginning and the end of it when they were done, because there was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes of them just sitting there just talking.
Yeah.
But that's the goal, is to be able to give good footage, good investigation footage, and at least try to. I was wanting to find the quack quack video, and that's not on that hard drive.
He has it.
He has it. I know he has it. The footage that I have is from February when he went with ghost hunts.
Okay, there's that one. We also did that in the upcoming episode now at the museum.
Yep.
It's on there too.
So I have to,
me
and him have to arrange times
to do it at the Rods, but did we?
The footage was used for SMX Global Ghost Hunt appearance, so it's fair game. Okay, thank you. That's what I needed to know.
You're okay. Awesome.
But the timestamp on that one, Ray, is like February. And I know we did one in May.
Yeah, we went back in May.
But anyway, that's what's going on with that. There's other content that I want to do.
We've got a lot that's on our plate, but more specifically, more of the mundane, everyday life stuff that's on our plate right now. That's kind of
all damn working,
getting in the way, and not in a bad way. It's just time management is a difficult thing right now, because it's not necessarily that one of us at a time can't find the time. It's all of us getting together at the same time. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But we are doing the thing. If you guys want to check it out, it's pretty much our little web series that we do with our investigations. We've got a couple, 3 up now on our YouTube.
2.
Okay, so we got 2 up on the YouTube now. We'll say that we're having an intermission in this season, so we'll probably try to drop them 2 episodes at a time.
Yeah, I'm wanting to get as many done as I can. That way, I can just boom schedule. I can schedule premieres, and then they'll go as soon as that time that we've set aside to do that. They'll just premiere. I like being ahead. Roz was March. We had 1 in April, 1 in May, and 2 in June. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been busy. We don't lack for the footage, y'all. It's just the ability to get it time stamped and edited.
Yeah, the original plan when we started doing this was to have everybody going through, like a lot of people going through the footage rather than just me. But if it's just me, it takes time.
Well, that's a lot of people don't realize that we're using 4 or 5 different cameras, 4 or 5 different audio recorders. And
it's a lot of evidence, y'all. It's a lot of shit to filter through. And that's the big thing. And we're not bitching, but we're bitching.
I'm not bitching at all.
Well,
this is like this is my shit.
That's what I'm saying. We're not bitching, but we're bitching, because it's the tone we have. We love doing this. It takes time, and we want you guys to realize that we're putting in the effort in the ways that we can. Some of us are going out and getting the footage, and other people have to unfortunately edit it, and it's a lot. Because you don't exactly want the blind guy trying to look through video footage. I'll stare at the screen and go, cool, I saw something, and it'll be a bug flying in front of my face, and I wouldn't be able to tell. So So it is a thing. But wanted to get that from Brian. He's our head of production. Wanted you guys to hear it from the horse's mouth, and that way you knew what was going on. But as far as that goes, I hope, isn't that enough? Is it enough, guys?
It should be.
They say it's enough, so it's enough. Now, as far as horror stories from the road, so the way this works is typically when we're at events and people would like us to talk about the things we've experienced, we kind of do a round table discussion or a panel. So we'll start on one side and kind of move across, and as one person is telling their favorite or their scary moment or whatever, we'll chime in if we were there, or it becomes a big discussion. So you guys get multiple perspectives about the same case or the same investigation, or even just being at someone's house doing a residential check and some funny stuff happening or some spooky stuff happening. We bring that kind of stuff up. It is our account of what happened based off of evidence, what we saw, what we felt, what happened with the client. And the reason why we do this is to some degree, everyone talking was pretty much on these cases, or at least a couple of the mechanics talking were on these cases. That way you get it from multiple perspectives. It is literally the same case. And, that way one person isn't talking out of their ass. You're literally getting it from multiple angles. So you can't see him, but he's over here.
He's here.
He is here.
He's here with us in physical, not spirit.
He is. So Mr. Brian Redmond is actually over on the other side of the room there. He thinks he's hiding, but I'm not letting him.
He can talk, and the microphone should pick him up. It's fine. He doesn't have to. Hi.
But yeah, we're stoked to have Brian in. That's another perk of coming to the events this weekend at the Clarion. You get to hang out with Mr. Redmond with us. He's going to be here all weekend to hang out with everybody. But
Jenny says, Redman, get yourself in front of the camera.
And Jenny's calling you out, man.
That's all right.
He literally was. He literally was in front of the camera. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What?
What?
Oh my God. Redmond, you sexy bitch.
Already fans.
SMX After Dark.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
Just me and my dragon onesie eating ice cream out of a tub.
actually, shit like that is so fucking funny. I would actually subscribe to that. That's oddly wholesome for us.
What's wrong with him? I don't know.
A lot. We're gonna start with you, Brian.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So let's we'll kind of sandwich it. So yeah.
Just tell me what. Just give me a direction.
Well,
Can I make it like an interview? Get
So-
my good side.
get the good side. So everybody wants the fucking NASCAR train wreck. That's literally why they're wanting this to be aired. So, what was at least as far as your top one? What was the roughest case?
In which direction? Because there's like rough, as in clients are belligerent.
No, the other kind.
There's a lot of rough. There's a big gray area
No,
when it comes to rough.
the other kind. Your
All the bad
Yeah.
stuff going.
yeah, where everything kind of went sideways and things actually got hairy. So what was what would be yours that stuck out?
I've said the same one a lot when it comes to these, but
For the sake of the discussion.
yeah, I've trying to think of a more modern one because that one was
Years ago.
years, like 9 years ago. Um, Jay's was pretty bad. The Karloff case, that one was pretty. That was pretty rough.
That one was one of the worst ones, at least as far as activity and situation. That was probably one of the worst ones. It definitely in my top 5.
Let's see, they all kind of blend together anymore.
We've done so many.
But yeah, the Karloff case was pretty bad. More on the physical end. As far as like something just what makes the rough and worst. Yeah, that one. I mean, I was pretty green. Like I'm relatively new to everything. I was probably 2 years. I'd been doing metaphysics for about 2 years at that point. I'd done ministry forever, seen deliverance ministry and stuff like that forever. So it wasn't really a thing where I was freaking out or anything like that. It was just a lot all at once. Especially, I weighed a lot more then than I do now, and he's picking me up, and I'm trying my damnedest to hold him down as Steve is going through the process while we have a witch, going through the process while we have a chaos mage, going through the process. And everybody is just throwing. At the time, is the best way for someone to learn is to have a student, and I had a student with me there that day.
Bless him.
He no longer is with us.
This shit is real. It sure is, buddy.
Yeah, that was hilarious, but that's a different topic for a different day.
Yeah, I mean, we had gone through. Mr. Tyree and Mr. Redmond weren't with us at that particular point. It was just me and Brian with this one, and a couple other people that we knew.
Mm-hmm.
But our friend had actually asked us to come in and help with an attachment, is what he said, with an attachment that he had for years. And
it was an attachment.
It was not an attachment. We get to the house and the word attachment changed to entity. Neat, man. So we go through the process of reclaiming the home. And as we're going through this, the entire house starts to shift. And when I say that, I mean literally the entire house starts to shift. Like, for me anyway, things started to spatially distort.
Yeah, it felt weird. His house always felt weird anyway. It was an old Sears Roebuck catalog home. So, I mean, it was built in the
way back.
Way back. So it's one of those ones you get on the train, and then build it by numbers kind of house. And so it had history and it had memory, so it felt different to be in there anyway. And it felt like you were outside of space and time there for a minute. But as we're going through the process, you get that weird feeling in the back of your neck, like this isn't what he told us it was. This isn't what he told us it was. This isn't what he told us it was. This is pretty bad.
Because he wanted us to come in and cleanse the house and make sure he was good and remove an attachment. Okay, it's the standard fare. You go in, you reclaim, you do the house blessing. Now that it doesn't have anywhere to go, you remove the attachment. It's literal procedure. It's protocol. And we wound up going upstairs to start doing the reclaiming, and Brian's with him.
Mm-hmm.
And on my end, I was coming up and going the other way. I didn't go with them. I went the other way. And the entire time, there was no one with me. but there was something with me the entire time. And right about the time I was going to turn around and tell whatever it was that needed to back off of me, my cousin actually came in behind and was like, Steve, are you cool? Who's in here with you? I'm in here by myself. And about that time, Brian comes back out with Jay, and we meet in the middle in that upstairs hallway, which was Tiny's book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was around then that suspicions were pretty high that it was not what we suspected it was. This isn't a normal attachment. So I just be real. I lied to him. Like, this is a part of the procedure, just so anybody can, that way we don't have, anybody. As far as safety, can we put your firearms somewhere that's safe? That it's not normal procedure for us to have to do that. My feeling was we need to get these out of the house. I locked them in his Hummer and put the keys in my pocket.
And it was a good thing he did, and we're going to get into that here in a bit. It was the best decision. We get downstairs, we're literally circling up. Let's call it what it is. We're literally, everybody is in a separate corner of his living room after we get in there, and we're coalescing things. We open the door. The witch friend that we have began the process of literally sweeping it out, and everything went cold. We got the cold gust. We got the door wanting to shut. All right, I'm done. Cool. And then it was time for the quote unquote attachment removal. And he started to break out in cold sweats and get hot in, his major muscle groups, and, get severe weakness. At least that's what he said, but he could still stand under his own power and still hold things and still move, and started to shift. So his facial expressions and the way he carried himself started to shift. And I'm like, I know what this is. Great.
Not going to go too deep into the process, but I mean, it was pretty hairy there for a second. And once we got to that point, everything kind of chilled out. Round one was done.
Yeah.
And the student goes, "Wow, it's over." And I'm like, "No, it's not."
And he looks at me, and I'm like, "No, man, this is literally the calm before the storm. We're gonna have one final push.
We're gonna have one final showdown,
and it's not gonna be what it was." He's like, "Well, what do you mean?" I was like, just stay out of the way until we tell you to be in the way. And when we tell you to be in the way that we tell you. And I looked at Brian, and Brian's like, "You do as I say." It was literally, because the first round was not great. The second round was when all the hairy stuff, at least as far as what we call the worst part of the cases, actually happened.
Yeah, you listen to the words out of my mouth and do exactly as I tell you to, boy. You understand? Because he was probably like
17.
Yeah, he was about 18.
17, 18.
Yeah, about 17, 18. And that was his last ever. He never showed back up for anything, any other lessons, anything else. He was done.
He was done.
He saw it, saw the shit, and was out.
I mean,
I've checked on him before, a couple years. How you doing, man? Silence. All right, cool. I got you.
No stress, my guy.
I took him on it was one before this, and I took him on a training exercise in a park. And like, there's a couple of things that are running around the park, and he's like, "Okay, cool." He bruisers up and decides that he's going to take a swing at a thing that he can't see. He took a swing, and you hear and he goes, "Fuck!" fuck? And they go, yeah, it's real. Good job. Now do it this way.
But so we're not going to go into what it is that we did as far as process, but talking about some of the things that happened.
Yeah, I'm holding him down. He's lifting me up. And I'm not a small guy. I'm probably now I'm like 225. At the time, I was probably closer to 250. And he was a buck 60.
And that's being generous.
I'm being
he was a buck 50 soaking wet, so he had to be under that.
Yeah, because he was starting to drink really heavy and lost a lot of weight and not eat good, and
so he was probably closer to it.
And he's coming up at the chair, and I'm going with him. I'm like, nope, wrap legs around, wrap my arms around, and lean back.
And about this time, he literally, and this is the case that you guys have heard about him S-curving over the folding chair.
And they look at me in the face, and I go, nope.
So back of the folding chair is like this. He was sitting, Brian's back here. He was sitting back against the chair and literally S-curved and was hanging upside down while sitting still and staring Brian in the face.
Why don't you look me in the eye? Nope. Nope, you spooky bitch. No.
And then, me screaming at it, you're going to look at me. And then about that time, it raises up, tries to pick Brian up again. I know you. Why don't you tell me your name? Well, I know you. Yeah, we've probably talked before. Why don't you tell me your name? And finally, we got it out.
It was a bit. All the while, chanting over here, energy going over there. The students, my students holding him by the knees and just flooding him, and I'm flooding him, and I'm like full on legs. And you're fucking stay here.
Because I flat out told him, it's like, if he gets up from that chair, he is going to hurt us. And the big thing to understand about this gentleman is, one, obviously you can't S-curve over the back of a folding chair, but this man's back was destroyed. And Brian was coming close to twice his weight. And he was lifting him up with nothing but the power of his knees off the floor.
Fun times. It's great. So awesome. After that one, everybody's like, there's going to be a pretty bad case. I'm like,
no.
Nah.
No.
Why are you so calm in these cases?
I've seen what it could be. You prepare for what it could be, but once you realize that it's not what it could be, things kind of take a little bit of a calmer tone.
Okay, cool. I know what that is. That's fine. That's going to be easy to deal with. Not that it's easy to deal with. It's easier.
It is not that previous thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trial by fire.
That's what I teach.
Bitch.
Hey, looking back, I hope you liked it. I hope you loved it.
I hope you liked it. I lived it. I lived it. I didn't live it. I was there. Live. And in living color.
I was about to say that.
It's in Technicolor right now, man.
Technicolor. Oh, shit. It's a Bob Ross painting. There's a happy little demon right there.
Look at it. It's cute.
He's got a secret.
It wants to be people.
But
it's trying. It's trying. What about you, man?
So, our previous cases, our earliest ones, interestingly enough, were actually some of the worst.
I know, right?
Which is really interesting because we've had so many over the years. We've literally been to hundreds of homes, and taken on thousands of clients, whether we've been there in person or not. And some of the worst cases that we've had have been our first ones. Our literal first one, we talk about it a lot. It was a local case. It was here in Lexington, and a previously on the air television show had come in to investigate this person's home, and pretty much,
We get another episode out of it.
yep, they came in. They actually got actual evidence. They actually had footage, and on the episode, they were like, "There's nothing here. There's nothing there. There's nothing going on. You know, you people are crazy." And when the paranormal team that talked to us called them back, that's exactly what they said. Well, if we took care of it, or told them that we would help them, we wouldn't get an opportunity for a second episode, and we need to pad a season. So we were called in as it was supposed to be a second opinion, and it turned into far more than that. We show up, and as soon as we show up, the wind kicks up. I mean, it was something literally out of an Amityville fucking movie. The wind kicks up, the entire property goes dim, not dark, dim, in broad ass daylight.
Yeah, we got there about 4 o'clock.
Yep. The closer we got to the house, the darker things got, the more grayscale things got. And we're talking physical sight. We're not talking metaphysics at this point. We're just coming up on the property and getting to the home. As soon as we do, it is an infestation. We had, 6 people for that one? Or was it 8?
Hold on. Seven.
7. We had 7 people.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There. I forgot about her. But yeah, 8. We had 8
We had 8.
because we had the
We had Mama Bear with us.
we had Mama Bear with us. She was an investigator that referred.
Yep. And was there to make sure that we weren't bullshitting and we're actually going to help these people. Because at the time, she didn't know us. And shout out Anita Harden. Love you. But we're walking around the house, and it is infested. From basement to attic, it is infested.
We were in there in the basement and the attic.
Getting shit out. And it was bad enough to where the dead were coming up through the floor and halfway hanging out of the ceiling in some areas, stuck in walls. So, you'd see like this part of somebody. So from, this part that way. So the head and everything else sticking out of a wall and then kind of reaching out, stuck. I mean, it was horrible. It was thick. The energy there was dense. It was hard to breathe. It was hard to move. And we start to clear this out one room at a time, one level at a time. Everybody is scrambling and doing. We're going room to room. We are exterminating. And then it comes down to working with the client herself. And go ahead.
It was. I mean, that one. Looking back at it, it was hairy.
It was nowhere near as bad as the Carlisle case.
It was pretty hairy. I mean, it was more of like going and spraying baseboards for roaches and shit.
Like
than it was. Oh well, the
everywhere.
roach. Now it's rad roaches from Fallout. And
Right.
they're coming to attack us and eat us.
Like the worst part of it
Was her.
was her. You guys have heard about the fabled angel light. I do still have it.
Mhm.
Actually, we keep it because it's a cursed object. It is sealed. It's safe. It can't hurt anybody. But we have her sit in a kitchen chair, in the middle of her living room, and start to go into process of removing, once again, an attachment. It was not an attachment. Our Chaos Mage slid a tumbled piece of angelite about yay big, slid it under the chair, and okay, we're going. A battery that we had, and Brian actually, one on either side, grounding and making sure that, similar to Jay, only of course a lot kinder, trying to make sure that it did not move, because at this particular point we weren't talking to the client anymore. We had the ladies in front, one holding the hands, one making sure that the knees were blocked, and we started to go into process. And when we did, she started to convulse. She started to shake.
Turned visibly pale.
And her body structure started to shift.
What was it? It was a thing. That's about as far as we got. It was a thing, and it needed to come out.
It was kind of a rough situation because we weren't expecting that. And it was an impromptu, technically you could call it an exorcism. Literally it was not. What we did is a different process. But we start going through what it is that we need to go through. And at one point, she starts to breathe heavy and growling under her breath and clenching her teeth. And I want to get up. I want to get up. I'm not going to, but I want to get up. And saying things like that out loud. And about the time it got to the point where we couldn't hold the situation back anymore, I did a particular thing that I don't do very often, which is use a mirror. But
Did the thing. It worked.
It
and
worked.
It definitely was not her in that mirror looking back at us.
The reflection was not human. And you can ask anybody that was there that day, it was not her. It was more animal than human, and you could barely see her face. But once it was in the mirror, everything lightened up. Everything settled. Literally, the entire house went pop, 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 and settled. Everything went quiet.
It's kind of cool.
That situation it was a good one.
She comes by still every so often to get checkups and just readjustments and things like that. Every about once a year, every other year. I think she's been doing every other year now.
Yeah, she's actually been able to get her life back, get back on track, and get her health in order, and has been doing her own self-maintenance and protections and things. And she's a sweet lady. She's a sweetheart. But if you guys ever wonder why we have a little bit of disdain for the public image of certain paranormal teams, that's one of the biggest reasons why. Mr. Tyree.
Yeah.
You do it.
Well, I don't have any stories like that.
That's fine. It doesn't have to be like that.
It doesn't have to be like that.
We're just showing our 15 years of 20 years and 30 years of
Doing this, yeah.
I've got two cases that really stand out to me.
Okay.
But the one that is actually rather funny, even though it was a headache at the time, was my very first case.
You're welcome.
You had to.
You weren't there.
Of course I wasn't.
So, no, I'm at work and I get this text message. Hey, can you give me a ride to this place?
Seriously?
Because his ride decided to not be able to make it. So I was like, yeah, cool.
That is truth. My original way there couldn't be there. And I'm like, Yeah, he's sensitive. I wonder if he'll fucking do the thing. I'm not going to tell him what we're doing, but yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll come get you. So we go to the case and we're,
This is the Georgetown, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're walking around doing the thing. All of a sudden, I see this nice little shadow guy up on the hill.
Mhm.
And I'm watching him. Steve's like, "You're seeing that, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm seeing that." The next thing I know, okay.
Dude just doing the,
he's
know,
standing there pointing.
Evil monkey.
evil monkey. He's just that way. I'm like, yeah, all right, let's go.
So we're still walking around beside the house, and he's following us, and he points again. Finally, I'm looking at the clients, and I'm like, "What is over there?" And they're like, "The cemetery."
Cool.
Yeah, the little family cemetery in the back.
I was like, "Okay, we need to go." So we're walking. He's the only one. The blind guy is the only one who doesn't step in water. The rest of us are walking in like a little creek.
This one cool.
That's literally what happened. I'm like, oh, they want me over there. All right.
So we get over there. And then there's this other little shadow guy over at the cemetery.
Mhm.
And for what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
I'm standing in the middle of these two guys. This guy's over here. I got him killed. I killed him. I got him killed. I killed him. For 20 minutes, yelling at me.
Told them both to shut the fucking mouth, but that's just me.
That's
That's literally what he did.
finally, it's like, hey, you all need to shut the fuck up and chill.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Because he's literally doing that out loud. And I'm like, you cool? And no, they need to shut the fuck up.
Who's that?
Well, come to find out, it was a slave
Uh-huh.
and one of the slave owners.
Uh-huh.
And I'm assuming that the slave was having an affair with the owner's wife.
Cool. Yeah.
So
Get it.
the slave wanted the wife, so he got the owner killed.
Mm-hmm.
The owner, after he died, they realized who did it, so they strung him up at the tree.
Fair.
That started the whole thing.
Fair.
The hilarious thing to me about this entire situation is that neither one of them knew that the other one was dead. They were literally bitching to him, having two separate conversations at the same time.
So yeah, that's the way my experience started with mechanics.
I mean, actually, it was his first case. Precious memories. Oh, how they linger. So Redmond.
I don't have any stories.
Okay.
So
Pre-mechanic.
you asking me?
Yeah.
Pre-mechanic. Are you talking about in what direction? I need the same thing I gave you. I need some context. Pre-mechanic.
I'll start it. That's fine. Pre-mechanic. Oh, I mean, the worst thing that I'd ever seen as a
Oh,
kid.
we're doing those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pre-mechanic.
What is that? Go ahead.
I've seen. I've given this story before on the lives and it was the one at home when I was at home with mom, and but not a lot of everybody.
Not a lot of everybody.
Not a lot of everybody's heard it.
There's that Kentucky.
I was probably about it was this 1990. So I was about 6, 7, 91, 92,
It was early
91 and 92. I got to get context in my head. It was about 91, 92, because I think this is after my grandfather had passed.
Oh, I got you.
And I lived in Cynthiana at the time, and that part of Cynthiana has always got shit going on. At least the part that I lived in. I mean, it's one of the older parts, and it's right next to the river. And I'd seen stuff as a kid, and never really. Oh, it's just an old lady with a cat.
Yeah.
What old lady?
Right there.
It's the shit as a kid. You see the things.
Right.
And my mom decided that it was the best decision was to send me to church. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever, I don't care. I got to be around kids, and got to hang out with my uncle a lot more. And so I was home. I don't remember the day of the week, but I was home, and it was during the summertime. And Mom gave me a flashlight. I was scared of the dark. She'd give me one of the like a red mag light.
I was about to say, was it like the old school mag?
It was like an old little itty bitty red mag light about like that.
With,
So
with the white button?
No, the screw top.
Oh, man.
The screw top.
Gotcha.
This is like I said, 91. And she would always say, no, there's nothing in the dark, and that you can't see in the daytime. So if you feel like something's there, shine the light. You shouldn't be able to see it. Okay, cool. So I freaked myself out. I think they started watching scary movies a lot during that period of time. So I had to freak myself out, and I was sleeping in the bed with Mom. And she had like a queen size waterbed, which doesn't help the situation for what it was. And I kept feeling like something was walking closer. And I'd turn the light on. I'd look around the room. Okay, that's fine. Turn it off. Lay back down. Try to go back to sleep. Feel like you walk closer. Turn the light on. Shine around the room. Pile of clothes. The exercise bike that was a clothes hanger now. The wardrobe off to the side. Just all right, cool. Turn it off. Lie back down, and it felt like it got closer again. Turn it on. Look around.
Do the scan.
Do the scan one more time. Turn it over, and I'm like, I should probably try to get some sleep. And I'd turn over and try to get some sleep. And it was about that time. It felt like I got closer. And all of a sudden, Mom starts shaking and screaming at the top of her lungs. And I'm in a waterbed.
No.
Like, wake up. Not waking, screaming, shaking. And the only other thing, my sister was staying at a friend's house that night. I had no one else home but her. And the only thing that I could think to do was to bury my face into the wall with my hand right here and just start calling. So I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and called as hard as I could call. Stopped dead. I passed out. We moved the next day. Literally, she's carrying me to the car, putting me in the car, and we're moving to where my uncle lives, to stay with him for a little bit to get out of Santa That house is no longer there. That house is an empty lot. No way, they've not even built back on it.
That's some cursed ass land, more than likely. Like, nah. Something tells us this just needs to be a plot of grass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. So we're going pre-mechanic with the raw stuff, huh? Um, so it was an interesting thing because it is similar to Brian. You grow up and you're seeing things that other people can't, and it was really hilarious coming from me because everything was a kid's finger painting. So it's like what can he actually see? He's drawing inferences, but things that were dead, and notice how I said things that were dead, spirits that had passed. They came in crystal clear. The light that people emit, that comes in crystal clear. So to me, it was normal. Well, um, similar age actually. Uh, it started, but we started having weirdness. We used to live in Briarwick Apartments in Nicholasville. You know where that is. But it's a small apartment complex in my hometown, Nicholasville. And strange shit started happening. I started having dreams where uh, I was getting chased, but couldn't tell by what. And, you know, I was unable to see, like even more so. I could tell where I was and what was going on with me, but I couldn't see anything outside of that. Just not even black void. It was just like swirling black water, like like being on a dock in the middle of the night. It's just black water, and I'd hear laughing, full grown ass man laughing, and I'd wake up and my bedroom light would be on, and my closet door would be moved. It'd be not open but ajar. Things around my room would be picked up and moved, and then mom started having dreams at that point where my bedroom door would be locked and she couldn't get in it with me screaming on the other side and beating, banging, going through it. Well, that actually happened. Um, I did scream and no one could get to me. Um, and that happened for a while and then it kind of stopped. Wound up moving to Louisville when I was older, this is about middle school age, so 11, 12, somewhere in there, 13, whatever. And when we moved to Louisville, it was a completely different situation, uprooted, right? New life here, similar to what y'all did. For what I found out later was a similar reason. But I had a family member come over and I was like, what's going on? And the only thing he would tell me is that there was something in the house that he was going to help remove. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And he said, I'll tell you when you get older, which was weird because this person at the time was one of the people that had actually started to teach me about metaphysics. So hearing that, I already knew that it was a problem. And they tried to remove this entity and tried and tried. Finally, for the longest time, it supposedly left. So going back to where we were in the apartment, mom would wake up similar to the way that I did with, the lights on, but her closet door was open and she would see a man laying on her top shelf staring at her while she slept. I started having severe nosebleeds. Even to this day, mom talks about it. She's like, you would soak the sheets through. I would wake up in pools of my own blood, not just a patch on a pillowcase. I would be soaked in my own blood. And the reason being is your body does this amazing little thing, which is actually not amazing. It's actually terrifying. Of when you start to truly suffocate, blood vessels begin to burst. You haven't lived until you tried to, to pull someone holding a pillow to your head off of you. I went through that for a series of years. Started to get my training to do what it is that I do now at 15 after moving back here. And the first thing I did when I had the ability was snap that fucker's neck. Rolled right into the house. I'll be back. What are you doing? Don't worry about it. Like it. So when people, when people say that this kind of thing can't become a major issue, or when people say that we don't understand what it is that they're going through, yeah, we do. Since then, I've been very particular about the things I talk to, about the people I talk to, and about who and what I allow around me. But that was probably the worst experience I think I've had in my entire life, doing any form of metaphysics or otherwise. So that was the pre-mechanic. That was not exactly the best thing in the world. What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Pre-mechanic. That would be the house I grew up in, Sadieville. Probably about 12, 13. No. Yes.
Maybe.
Somewhere in there. We had this old house, like one of the first houses built in that little city. And I started being woke up in the middle of the night with this guy walking through our kitchen, coming through my bedroom, walking into the living room, and then coming back. Funny thing is we had a door between our kitchen and my bedroom. It was a half door. And he just walked right through. So that was almost every night. About the same time as he woke me up about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Just walking through the house, walking back. Come to find out, the lot next door that my parents bought a couple of years later had a Baptist church sitting on it.
Oh, cool.
So they used to go out and dig up their nails. Hey, it was cool clay nails.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's how old.
Clay nails.
Clay nails.
Clay nails and wood. Jeez. That is pretty old school at that point. You still have some of the nails?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure I can go find some.
I mean, people probably look at you funny now. So,
you got anything?
I don't have any scary stuff, really.
well, it doesn't have to be
You don't
scary
have to be scary.
because we need to liven this shit show up out here.
Well, I mean, mine wasn't scary. Mine was just irritating.
Any more? Most of the case.
Motherfucker, it is 1 a.m. Yeah.
I mean, that's like my other case at Octagon Hall.
Mhm.
Really, the worst thing that with me at that case was when I yelled at Raymond to get the fucking kids out of the building.
Yeah, that was the situation.
We didn't have any kids.
Yup. You're
Fun times.
Oh yeah, and then the whole house was shaking.
for him.
Right.
It got so bad that I actually got out of my chair and laid down in the middle of the floor because I wanted to be sure 100% I was feeling the building shake
Because he thought we were fucking with him.
because I was blindfolded.
And because he was doing an Estes.
Oh.
And dude, we're not moving. And we didn't. Ray and I didn't move. Some of the footage actually from Octagon should have that. And yeah, we didn't move an inch.
But then again, basically, I came up off the floor.
He like sat the fuck up, like literally vampired it, sat the fuck up and pointed with his eyes still closed and screaming at Raymond, "Get the fucking kids out!" And then
Trans much?
right, literally. And I'm like, well, that is how the Estes is actually supposed to work, but goddamn. So, non-scary story, because that one wasn't scary either.
Well, I don't really have any stories.
We need to fix that. We need to fix that.
Well, I come down here often.
That's what I'm saying. We need to fix
You need
that.
to fix that.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to fix that. You gotta have at least one story that you're like, what the fuck?
I think it takes a lot to make Redmond go, what the fuck? Considering previous employment, the life he's led, a what the fuck moment. It's a tall order.
No.
That's what I'm saying. We need to provide that.
Well, we did have that one case in Ohio
We always
that
have a
was
case.
almost the what the fuck for him.
Yeah, we did. That one.
Now, it would be funny if we had the girls here with us. The other one stabbing the ground with butter knives.
Fun.
We had to. That was when we had to catch the Kelpie, and Davis had given us void knives to use, and he used silver knives that he had.
Yeah.
All right, I need you guys to hold it. Well, how do we do that? I need you to stab this into the ground, and both girls like full on commit, and it over the head and double handed. And I'm like,
Are we sacrificing a virgin in the woods?
I'm like, okay, just do it, get it done.
Archie's was pretty awesome. Russell says Archie's.
Archie's.
Yep.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, we actually got some pretty good stuff from that one too. We should be able to get that up soon too. I'm hoping. The only big issue with Archie's is the noise pollution. So that one's a little rough on that. Because Archie's was an active bar while we were investigating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so noise pollution was heavy. But the hits that because we did, and Russell was there with us. The hits we did get on the vortex, on the cat balls, on different objects, we did make sure to debunk and do the thing with. And we did get confirmation through those of intelligent responses.
Okay.
So we did get a little bit, but as far as EVPs and shit like that, it's pointless.
Right.
But we'll see if we get anything. I highly doubt we did. At least nothing that'll register. So funny moments.
Not doing that one. Not doing that one. We've done it to death.
Which one?
Alabama, we've done it to death.
We have.
We've done it to death. I'm not doing Alabama. Trying to think of another one. Funny one.
Yeah, or at least a moment on a case that you're like, that's just fucking hilarious, or or heartwarming, something a little bit more upbeat.
Trying to think. Roll that beautiful bean footage brain.
Yeah.
The it had nothing to do with the case. It just, I mean, my brain immediately went to Augusta.
Oh my God. Well, technically, it did have a lot to do with the case because we had to fucking stay there.
But I don't want to go in that route and talk about that stuff and go with that thing because that situation is what it is. I'm trying to think of another one. Nashville. I wasn't on the case, but I think it's hilarious.
Which part?
Cheating on me with my husband. She's not here to defend herself. That was pretty funny.
Where are you at?
Ooh.
Hey, so we're on the live, and the topic currently, because we're doing horror stories from the road, is Nashville, Tennessee, and we.
You are our 15th caller.
and you have won the prize. So it was
You just passed through there too. It's
so
this is just a funny moment.
it is a funny moment. We were talking about the fact that you live in Kentucky, and there was a certain action being taken by you and the husband of said client. So apparently, she was driving down all the way from Lexington, Kentucky to Nashville, Tennessee to pay for a upscale apartment in downtown Nashville so she could get it on with a client, the client's husband.
Only because you're not here.
Careful what you think. Yeah. That's it. We're not going to go any further into that.
Yep.
Thank you for humoring us.
Be safe. As I was just hanging up on her. So that I didn't want to talk about that without her present in some way. We did right by her, sort of. So
those kinds of things. We get a lot of, I could call it horror stories, but we get the ones who they want the internet fame, they want to be noticed. Hey, they have a tie with this particular group of people. We don't have that tight of a tie with that particular group of people in order for you to be able to get your 5 minutes.
No. There's not a point in that. We do what we do the best way we know how, and our best is usually what's needed. We're known for that, but that's all we're really known for. Our work speaks for itself.
We're not going to get you on the next episode of this show or that show. We're not going to hook you up with this other people that has got this other thing going on. If you're calling us to work on a situation, we're going to help you with your situation as best we can. However, that being said,
Oh,
There have been a few.
we've gotten more than our fair share of those, and a lot of them recent too. There were a few that were really bad about it though.
Yeah.
Some that were very blatant about it. Well, you know this particular person. Can you talk to them for me? No. But I thought you know them. We do. We aren't tight enough with them to be like, hey, this random person.
Damn it, Jenny.
What's up?
Are you sure you can't? Are you sure you can't hook me up with Zach Big? No.
Actually, I probably could, but I would regret it, and so would you. For various reasons. Because I would owe a favor to something I don't want to owe a favor to, and you would have to deal with the aftermath. But
Please no. And Raymond jumps on. Hello? Yes?
yeah, what do you want?
It has been brought to my attention that West Virginia may be worse than Tennessee.
No,
So,
no.
as far as cases, probably not, but as far as like investigations.
Yeah, okay. I can give you that. I can give you that.
Put you on long enough, just long enough to flip the camera off. Hey, Ray, what's up?
What's up, man? I just got off work, just got home.
Woo! All right, everybody, that's good night.
Woo! We're free. Yeah. Have a good night. Bye.
But one of the more heartfelt ones. I brought this one up before, but you know it's still literally one of my favorite moments as as a member of Spirit Mechanics, and that was yet another Ohio case, and it was.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about now.
Yeah.
So I had to actually search your mind to figure out where we're at.
There's so many. But
oh, that one. Yeah, that one's great.
What had happened was, long story short, there was a pastor that had died on the property, and would pray in front of the house and full wave the arm and going through it. He's praying. It was a dead files case, and Amy saw him, I saw him, Brian saw him, another previous member saw him. So it wasn't like it was a situation of, well, this dude isn't here, whatever, I'm not noticing it. And he had gone through the progression of a human spirit that stayed too long and had started to essentially sundown. So he was going through what we refer to as spiritual dementia, where they're full lucid, they are who they are, and all of a sudden the switch is flipped and they have no idea where they are, who you are, why you're there, and become belligerent. You don't belong here, this is mine. And then snap out of it and wonder why you're afraid or wonder why you're angry, But he was doing this, but the entire time during the day, and it was only during the day, he would literally pray over that property. And I mean, like, until sweat, the blood, sweat, and tears come out of him. And we get there and we essentially cornered him into one of his favorite spots where he would sit, and he wouldn't talk to us. He wouldn't have anything to do with us. And all of a sudden it was like, okay, different route. And Brian and I told him the truth. It's like, we're both ex-ministers. We were both in the pulpit. I was Methodist and he was Pentecostal. We used to do the thing. And the man opened up and started to cry. And the only thing he could say at the time was, I've been waiting on her. I've been waiting on her and I can't find her. But I know she's here. And he asked us to pray with him, and we did. Later on that evening, after we had cleared everything out, we had actually put a petition out and asked for the angels to actually bring her to collect him. She came through, there was a portal that was made, and she had the angel escort, and I walked her over to him and put her hand in his, and they were gone. The house went silent. Could have heard a pin drop, and there was not a dry in that house. It was the most heartfelt and loving moment I think I've really experienced in a long time, as far as anything of this nature. And it's one of my favorite memories of doing what it is that we do. It's not always being wrist deep in demons. Sometimes it's actually really awesome stuff like that too. Next.
Well, it's about 10:30, 10:38.
I think we got maybe one, maybe two left.
Yeah, I've got to bail very, very shortly. I got to get up in the morning.
We'll cut it off here in just a minute.
Yeah.
It's just, but with the way you were describing that, it's almost the way we ended the case in Georgetown with the Estes method.
Mhm.
I ended up making the whole room cry
It was his dad.
because I was connecting to the gentleman's dad. And they were asking me questions about, and I was giving them answers about furniture and stuff like that.
Stuff that he and his son had hand built together.
So I ended up with like a whole house crying.
Yeah, I mean it's not all rough stuff. I think one of the other funny things, we had a local case. You were on this one. We had that local case in Nicholasville, and there were demons in the walls.
Yeah, the squirrels in the attic.
So it's always a big joke. It's always a big joke. There's raccoons or squirrels or whatever. It can't be ghosts when it actually is. This was a time that it was definitely not, and we've had a couple of cases like this, but it's us and that previous member, and we go up to the house, and there's demons in the walls that are coming through it, and it terrifying. And at the time, we're going, okay, we're going to take this seriously. There's plenty of paranormal activity that's around the house, so maybe there is something that we're not picking up. And we're doing the cursory look. I'm hanging out with the clients as I typically do, and Brian and the previous member go up to the attic.
Yeah. We go up there and we smell it. Because a squirrel nest isn't just a squirrel nest.
Nope.
It smells like piss.
It's where they use the bathroom. It's where they fuck. It's where they have the babies. It is nasty.
It is home.
Yep.
You may want to get somebody up here to fill this hole, to fill in this hole and seal it off.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because they're calling down, and Steve, you got to see this. I'm like, funny. And he goes, no, even you can see this. And I go up and I pick it up to where I can see over the threshold of the attic.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes that way. And I look over, and there's a softball size hole in the side of this chick's roof. And then he goes, yeah, and over there next to it. And literally matted down insulation. And it's just horrendously smelling of
Piss.
It's just squirrel.
Smells like piss.
Tastes like piss. Looks like piss. But it's like, we gotta break the news, because what had happened was they slid down into the wall. So they went through the insulation, slid down into the wall, and she may have had spirits in there, but to make a dark joke, they were dead squirrels. So trying their best to get out, and didn't make it. And it's like, you have your roof fixed and the nest cleaned up, and then we can come back and check again. And we didn't have to come back and check again. But that one was actually a funny one, because we're like, well, maybe there's something that's lurking or hiding. We're not infallible, so maybe we missed something or we're not noticing. And no, it was 100% squirrels in the attic.
Makes me think of the Aerosmith album.
Toys in the attic.
Yeah.
Squirrels, squirrels, squirrels in the attic. Ray, do you want to close us out? You got a story?
As far as horror stories,
It can be light.
probably the light too. Okay.
Yeah, it's whatever. We're just talking about stuff that's happened to us while we've been doing the thing as a team.
Okay. Let's see here. One of the more interesting ones was my first case.
It's
Indiana
always the
case.
first case.
It's always the first case. I mean, I have stories from before that I joined the team, but it was definitely that first case. We were in Indiana, and there were some unwelcome guests, we'll call them. They were just assholes, to be honest.
Fair.
Dustin got scratched more than once. We were watching a TV taking glow when it wasn't even on. I think we even unplugged it at one point, and it was still glowing.
Yup.
Walked outside at one point, and it was snowing, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky.
And it was only on their property.
And it was only on their property. Before that, the wind started blowing everywhere, and it was only on that property. So that was definitely a fun case. Our trip to Hoptown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a situation.
That was a situation. And even before we got there, it was a situation. Because we stop into this restaurant, and me and Steve and Tyree walk inside, and not even 5 minutes later, there's a huge exit out the door. It's like, okay.
Literally roll in, and it is mass exodus. They're like, all right.
Like
people. Go ahead.
We
Ray.
had maybe 8 people left in the restaurant after we sat down.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But we roll up to this case, and we have one family member doing a drug deal right there, right in plain view of us.
Yeah.
And it just kind of escalated from there. So
it was definitely an experience.
Adventure.
I had interesting cases like that before. That one probably takes several pieces of the cake. Jeez.
So yeah, and on a funny note, that one was probably one of the more interesting cases that we've done that I've experienced so far.
Okay, now this is cool. Stuart Dixon, hi from Scotland.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Good day to you.
Hopefully we've given you a little bit of entertainment tonight, guys. We're going to have to close out here very shortly. Wanted to let you guys know, for those that came on a little later, if you want to meet us, and you're in the Kentucky area, we're going to be at the Clarion Convention Center North here in Lexington, Kentucky, at off of Newtown Pike. It's attached to the Clarion Hotel. Both Saturday and Sunday are going to be the Mystical Market. It's going to be awesome. Plenty of readers, plenty of people like us do the weird shit. Plenty of vendors, some awesome individuals. And Saturday night is the Mystic Luna Enchanted Forest Ball, with which Mr. Russell Paquin has a get in for free.
Get in jail free card.
Get in jail free card. He has a free admission coming his way, but it's going to be great. It's $30 to get into that. We also have Linda Nelson, April Connolly, and Terry Wolf that have won the free readings and or sound healing. All of them are $30. Energy, cards, and sound. You get it for free. You tell us when you want to do the thing. Ask when your preferred mechanic is available, and we'll make sure that you're taken care of. And then next Saturday from 12 to 4, Miss Joni Kahn is going to be here at the Missing Elements, which is our shop, 1018 East New Circle Road, Suite 114, Lexington, Kentucky, 40505. You can come hang out with her, do a meet and greet, get you a reading. She's a wonderful reader, and we've known her for years, long before we were mechanics for some of us. Mr. Brain here.
Mm-hmm.
But she's one of our favorite people. So come out and support her. Always remember, guys, that our readings we can do online. If we can do a live stream like this, we can do a reading like this.
Yes.
So just because you're out of state or even out of the country, it doesn't mean we can't take care of you. So if you would like a reading, whether it's cards, whether it's energy, if you need help with repairs of your chakras or attachment removals or paranormal consultation,
We do things.
We do all of it and a lot more than that. You can look up what we do, spiritmechanics.com. You can also send us a message there or here. And of course, you can get us at the missingelements.shop, which is our current store that we have super grouped with Mr. Tyree. That'll do it for July. We'll talk about what's going on. When we talk about what's going on, next week is going to be tarot night. So if you guys want a free reading, stop in, ask for one. Stars get you booted to the top because at that point it's a paid reading. And you can ask for a full tandem read. So anybody that is reading and in the room, you can get a reading from all of them at once if you so choose. But I hope to see you guys. Ask questions, be a part of things. We're trying to make ourselves available and give you guys a lot of cool events, a lot of different footage, a lot of different talks and topics. So help us out. Give a share, give a like, all that YouTube bullshit. The other thing is,
Don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe.
like and subscribe.
Smash that like subscribe button.
Like, subscribe. But in all seriousness, it's not necessarily about helping us out. It would, but we just want to make sure that you guys are enjoying the stuff that we're putting out. So let us know. And on that note, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Remember that those that have the power to change themselves have the power to change the world around themselves. Me too, dog. Love y'all.
Later.
Later.
Love you guys.